I will demonstrate to you how to disassemble a system unit. First, unplug the power cord from the back of the computer. Then, disconnect the keyboard from the back of the computer, the mouse, and the VGA or the monitor connector. Then, unscrew the video cable from the back of the unit. Yeah. Then, remove the screw, this one, then remove the back. Step 4. Disconnect all the internal ribbon cables. Disconnect the ID cable from the CD-ROM. Here. Disconnect the SATA cable from the hard drive. The system board. The ATX power connector. And the 4 pins power connector. Step 6. Remove the adapter cards. The next step is to remove all the connectors in the front panel. The LED connector, the USB connector, and the hard drive LED connector. Then, remove the drives from the chassis. The CD-ROM. Then, unscrew the front panel. The front panel. And the last is the hard drive. The last step is to remove the power supply. Unscrew the power supply at the back of the computer. After you unscrew all the screws at the back of the power supply, we will remove the power supply. Then unscrew all the screws on the pan of the computer. Then we will remove the motherboard. This is the motherboard of the system unit.
I'm now going to explain the parts and function of the motherboard. So this is the CPU socket with heatsink fan. So CPU socket is a mechanical component that provide mechanical and electrical connection between a device, usually a microprocessor, and a PCB or printed circuit board. This is the memory module bank, also known as memory bank, are for random access memory. So each memory bank can receive a PC RAM module for a specific PC motherboard. This is the North Bridge, also known as memory controller hub. We communicate with CPU, RAM, BIOS, PCIe, and AGP. This is the CMOS complementary metal oxide battery, a battery compartment which stores the battery used for storing data such as system date and time. This is the AGP accelerated graphics ports, standard used for X2, X4, or X8 external.
Southbridge chipset. This is the Southbridge chipset. It is also known as input-output controller hub. It indicates the slower capabilities on the motherboard. This is the BIOS, or the basic input-output system. It is a chip. It conducts the post or the power on self-test. This is the PS/2 port. This green one is for the mouse port, and this purple one is for the keyboard port.
This is the BGA port used to connect monitor and projector.
This is the Firewire port, IEEE 3094 port. Is a device for transferring data between two or more digital devices, such as camcorders, digital cameras, and others. This is the LAN port, RJ45 port, an Ethernet socket on a computer or network device, such as a switch or a router.
This is the audio port used to connect microphone, headset, or speaker. This is floppy drive connector used to connect floppy drive. This is the ATX power connector. The main power connector uses to get electricity.
You will now finish the screw we mounted. So next is power supply. Again, we will now have to screw them. Moving on with our connections, we are now ready to install the front panel connections. We're now going to install the hard disk.
Hindi na anak. Uwi nito may ilas to siya na. Biyita na lang tayo ng Saturday.
Now we're going to connect the insert the optical drive to the case.
Wala na masaksakan. Matagal na siya ang luto.
Pero dito pag hindi mabasa yung USB, gano'n. Pag di nabasa yung...
Now we're going to connect the IDE connector.
Sa akin, gusto niyo sausawan. Marami sila sa... Ang naganap ng sausawan na boses niya, ikaw yun. Ayaw ba nanda? Dara-dara lang ito?
Hindi, ano pa
May
daw?
birthday yun. Birthday mo pa rin? Maraming celebration. Ilan ba tayo? Ilan na tayo?
Dali lang. Okay na ba? Video mo na ba? Ay, video na ba yun? Sorry, dali. Dali lang. Sukatin ko lang.
Hindi ako nagsasapak na. Nakikita ko yung mga politician.
Then, we are going to connect the SATA cable. First, we connect the SATA cable on the motherboard. Then, on the hard disk. That. Then we're going to connect the RAM or the memory of the computer. And the other memory. Then PCI 2/ the USB. And the last step is we will cover the front of the computer. Then the side cover of the computer. Done. Power supply cable and the power supply cable.
Hello everyone, I am going to show you how to create a bootable USB flash drive using a Power ISO application. So first, we need to open the Power ISO in the menu. Then click Tools and choose the create bootable USB drive. Just click OK, the authentication allow. Then choose the destination USB drive. The destination drive we choose is 8 gig data and source image file. The source image file is the choose the destination file, which is the Windows 7 installer, and open. The settings right method is USB HDD. Then start. Then choose OK. Now the installation of USB flash drive bootable is successful. So now we can see the drive H is now bootable Windows 7 flash drive. Pwede ba na?
After we disassemble and assemble the system unit, we are going to install the Windows 7 operating system in the computer using the USB flash drive. First, we going to reboot the computer. After we reboot the computer, we're going to configure the BIOS setup. When we are in the BIOS setup, we need to boot the USB flash drive and the first master. Then enter. When we are here in the Windows Boot Manager, we are choose between the Windows setup and the 64-bit recovery mode. Then we go into click Windows set mode. The system is reboot. Then we're going to start with the new operating system, which is Windows 7 operating system. The setup is checking for the video performance. We're going to select the operating system you want to install in your computer. We're going to choose the Windows 7 Ultimate, that is 32-bit. Then we're going to click next. Then the license terms, we're going to accept the license terms, and then we're going to click next. And if you want to upgrade your system or custom, we will choose the custom and advanced. Then we are going to format this partition of this one. Format, then we click OK. Just to reload the formatting. Then we're going to install the OS in this partition one. Then we are going to click next. Now the installing Windows is now running. Now the expanding window files, we're going to 100%, 98, and 100. Now the expanding Windows file is already done. Then the installing features, then the installing updates, going to install in the Windows. Now we are going to complete the installations of the Windows 7 operating system. Windows need to start to continue. 3, 2, 1. Now the system is now rebooting.
Tsaka mag-lockdown mo naka-40 na tapos, ang bawas matakpal nila, 150 na 150. O, yung kaya talagang papataklo, 150 na 150. Oo, 150.
The Windows 7. First, we need to choose for the language that we will install the time, then the keyboard or input, and we're going to click the next button. The next, and we're going to install now the Windows 7 operating system. Going to set up the Windows 7 Ultimate. First, we need to type the username of the computer.
Wala kang magbibigay ng 10-10.
Then we're going to click next. So we are here in setting password for your computer, but we are not going to put any password in your sys account, and then we're going to click next. Then here we are in the protect your computer, improve Windows automatically, but we are going to click on the assimilator. Then we are going to put the time zone, the UTC +8, or the Beijing, Chongqing, Hong Kong, Urumqi. Then the date, then we're going to click next. Now the Windows 7 Ultimate is now initializing your settings.
Ulitin mo na lang ulit.
Now the setup is preparing your computer for first use. The installation of Windows 7 is now complete. Now the Windows 7 Ultimate is now starting. So we're here in the welcome. Now preparing your desktop. Now the Windows 7 operating system is now complete. We're going to start our computer.
Steps on how to troubleshoot the stick of the mouse. Step 1, plug the mouse.
Pero may chance bang ma-approve yun?
Step 2, check if the mouse is working. Step 3, click the start button.
Tayo ng Sabado.
Step 4,
Ganang araw aalis. Diyan lang naman yung...
click the control panel.
Ano eh, dito.
Step 5, click the hardware and sound. Step 6, click the mouse. Step 8, check again the speed of the mouse.
Classmate talaga, high school.
And that's the step on how to troubleshoot the speed of the mouse.
Steps on how to install the wireless broadband in a computer. Step 1. Plug the wireless broadband in a system unit. Step 2. Wait until your wireless broadband is detected. Step 3. Click the start button. Step 4. Click the computer button. Step 5. Open your wireless broadband on a computer. And click yes for the installation of wireless broadband. And click next. And click I agree. And click next. And lastly, and click install. Finish. And that's the steps on how to install a wireless broadband.
How to troubleshoot the keyboard. First, test the keyboard if it normally function. And if it's not function normally, unplug and plug in. Just like that. Yeah. And after that, restart the computer. And click start. After you starting the computer, the keyboard will function normally. That's the step how to reboot the keyboard.
How to troubleshoot the hidden files. Step 1. Click the startup menu and go to the console panel. Click the appearance and personalization. Click the folder option. Check the show all folders and OK. Just go to the view. Click the show hidden folders and drives and apply. Go to the documents. Now you can see the folder.
For the last troubleshooting we are going to do, we're now going to recover the bootable flash drive, which is the Windows 7. So first step is we're going to format the flash drive so that it can go back to its normal operation as a user.
We came to have so much fun now that somebody here might get some now. If you're not ready to go home, can I get a hell no? 'Cause we gonna go all